roof has caved in on Las Vegas, and the backstage chatter has swallowed up whatever patience was left in the Raider Nation. What happens when the greatest winner in NFL history decides to publicly go off and point the finger at absolutely everyone in our franchise? Why on earth is our #1 overall draft phenomenon going to start out riding the pine behind a veteran? And could that one unit everyone was ignoring become the true engine of a historic turnaround in 2026? If you thought this offseason was going to be quiet, you've got to be kidding me. Things got real behind the scenes in a way nobody saw coming. Buckle up and hit that like button, because what I'm about to tell you changes everything for the Raiders. Let's get right to the meat of it, because the pot is boiling over. Tom Brady, our minority owner and the most ruthless mind this sport has ever seen, decided to drop a nuke on the franchise's foundation over on the Stick to Football podcast. The man didn't sugarcoat a thing. He said the team underperformed in absolutely every area in 2025. It's everybody's fault, and nobody did their job to the standard it needs to be done. Real talk. He brought the hammer down hard. And you know what? He is absolutely right. We've been the laughingstock of the league the last few years, coming off a dismal 7-27 stretch over the past 2 seasons, capping it off with the worst record in the NFL in 2025 at an embarrassing 3-14. Brady airing out the dirty laundry in public completely changes the locker room dynamic and amps up the pressure on our cap space and the front office's signings. Mediocrity is no longer acceptable. When a guy with his pedigree says he wants to see daily and hourly improvement, the message to new head coach Clint Kubiak and the front office is crystal clear. The culture of losing ends today. The impact on the roster is immediate. Anyone who was getting comfortable thinking their job was safe just because we changed the coaching staff better wake up. This level of accountability raises the bar to the extreme for 2026. The front office already cleaned house, bringing in brilliant offensive minds and swapping out pieces at almost every position. But Brady's warning shot makes one thing clear. If the production isn't there from minute 1 of training camp, people are going to get cut without a second thought. My gut reaction? Finally, somebody needed to kick the door down. Brady doesn't accept losing, and seeing his name attached to an NFL punchline hurts his ego. The honeymoon is over. It's evolve or get out. If you thought the shock value stopped there, hold on to your hats for this controversy that's dividing our fan base and leaving people tearing their hair out on social media. We've got quarterback Fernando Mendoza, the #1 overall pick in the draft, Heisman winner and national champion out of Indiana, the hometown hero. But guess what? He is not playing week 1. Take a screenshot and hold me to it. Insider info from ESPN just poured ice water on the hype train. Mendoza is dealing with those classic growing pains, transitioning from college to the NFL. The kid is struggling to play under center and master pro-level footwork. In college, he pretty much lived in the shotgun, but in the NFL, it's a whole different ballgame. And the front office's strategy to handle this? Absolute patience. They are keeping Mendoza practicing mostly with the second and third stringers during OTAs and minicamp. That's right, our #1 overall pick is taking snaps with the backups. Are you kidding me? But hold your horses. Before you start throwing a fit, the plan makes all the sense in the world, because we have veteran Kirk Cousins on the roster. The QB1 job is Cousins to lose. The front office doesn't want to burn the franchise's future by rushing a kid who has all the tools to be the face of the team for a decade, but still needs to learn the basics of being a pro. The criticism has been loud, but the kid has impressed everyone in the building with his insane work ethic, natural leadership, and quick processing to find open targets. The front office decided to hold off and isn't going to throw Mendoza to the wolves before he's ready. The way I see it, this shows massive maturity from Clint Kubiak's coaching staff. Bringing in Cousins was exactly the shield we needed, so we wouldn't ruin Mendoza at the first sign of adversity. It's absurd for fans to think every rookie has to come in and tear it up on day one. Let the kid develop in the shadows, fix his footwork mechanics, and when Cousins slips up or Mendoza is flying under center, then it's showtime. Now let's jump to our radar. That future-focused news the fan base is totally glossing over because they're blinded by the QB debate. But it could completely change our tier in 2026. Mark my words, the Raiders' defense has everything it needs to be the biggest strength of this team this season. That unit that gave up 25.4 points per game last year has completely overhauled. Former coordinator Patrick Graham worked miracles with what he had. But with the coaching carousel and Clint Kubiak's arrival, the sheriff's badge on defense goes to Rob Leonard, our former defensive line coach. The guy brings fantastic pedigree, having worked alongside Mike McDonald with the Ravens, and that aggressive, disciplined influence is already showing up in practice. GM John Spytek blew up and rebuilt the talent structure of this unit. He didn't just sit on his hands and ignore the holes on the roster. We kept the absolute monster that is Max Crosby, re-signed Malcolm Kuntz, and added Kwity Paye and Kieran Crawford to the pass rush. At the second level and in the secondary, which were our Achilles heels, we brought in Quay Walker, Nakobe Dean, Traden Stukes, Eric Stokes, and Jermod McCoy. It's an absolute flood of new talent at all three levels of the field. We're moving away from that cowardly bend but don't break philosophy to outright smothering opposing offenses. Of course, with so many new faces and a rookie coaching staff, I fully expect some heavy growing pains and miscommunications in the early weeks of the 2026 season, until everyone builds that ideal chemistry. It's not going to be an overnight success, but the potential of this group is the true beating heart of the franchise. Evolving into a shutdown unit will give our young offense the oxygen it needs to breathe, whether it's Cousins or Mendoza taking the snaps. Imagine this defense making life miserable for Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and Bo Nix in the AFC West. That's exactly what we need. Keep an eye on it, because while everyone else is only talking about offense, Vegas's bully ball is going to be decided in the trenches and the secondary. In short, things are heating up. Brady is demanding immediate perfection. Mendoza is learning how to walk under center, while Cousins holds down the fort. And a completely revamped defense is ready to do the heavy lifting in 2026. Now for the golden question to get the comments blowing up down below. Knowing that Mendoza is still raw with his footwork under center, do you keep Kirk Cousins as the undisputed starter all year to protect the kid? Or do you throw Mendoza into the fire as soon as the defense proves they can hold off the opposition? Let your voice be heard, Raider Nation. Drop a like, and I'll catch you on the next one.